Good morning, a warm welcome back. Nice to connect. And yesterday's subject is thinking about how our thoughts are so valuable. And the only issue is if something happens and we get pulled into questioning why, then yesterday's session was very helpful because nothing is happening by chance. At some level, there are reasons. And ultimately, the action is in our thinking. But let's review yesterday's message of pain.
All right, let's jump right in with a really big foundational idea from our source material. And it's this: nature is fundamentally for us. It's on our side. It's like a friend that's constantly working to heal us, to keep us going, to keep us alive. Okay, but that brings up a pretty obvious question, right? If nature is this amazing, supportive force that's always got our back, then why does it give us pain? I mean, everything from a simple backache all the way to deep emotional sorrow. How can a friend be the source of so much suffering? Well, the answer to that might just completely change the way you look at your own struggles. So here's the big shift in thinking. The pain isn't a punishment. It's not random. It's a signal. It's basically nature's way of tapping you on the shoulder and saying, hey, whoa, stop, the direction you're heading in, it's going to harm you. Just think of it like a warning system designed to get you to correct what the source calls a wrong posture. And when we say wrong posture, we're talking about so much more than just slouching at your desk. It's any state, physical, emotional, even psychological, where you're out of alignment with your true self. The source material breaks this down into three basic types. You've got the physical posture, that's the obvious one. Then you've got emotional posture, like when we get way too attached to things in a world where we're really just passing through. But the deepest one, the one that causes the most trouble, is the last one, the ego. And this is where it gets really profound. The core argument here is that our biggest misfortunes, we actually invite them ourselves. They're caused by the false identities that we create, our ego. So how on earth does that actually work? Well, it's a fascinating and kind of scary cycle. Here's how it plays out. First, you build an identity around something external. It could be anything. I am my job. I am my money. I am this relationship. Nature sees this attachment as a wrong posture. Then, and this is the crazy part, you subconsciously invite what the source calls Vinash forces, or forces of destruction. And what do? They create a situation in your life that directly attacks that specific ego you've built. The source gives this powerful story about a woman who inherited millions. Naturally, she built a massive ego around all that wealth and success. Then, problems started. And just like that, suddenly, she was bankrupt. She had 8 different banks hounding her for every single thing she had left. So she's in absolute despair, right? Borrowing money just to keep up appearances. And one day she's standing on her balcony and she sees a homeless person on the street below and thinks, you know what? If I get one more letter from the banks, I'm just going to give him my keys and go join her. That was the turning point. In that single moment of complete and total surrender, she let go of that false identity she'd been clinging to. The source calls this an ego death. She literally died to the ego of being a wealthy, successful woman. And what happened next is just incredible. The moment her inner posture changed, the moment that ego died, the pain signal wasn't needed anymore. And get this, within 2 weeks, all 8 of the banks that were trying to ruin her wrote her letters offering to help. The entire external situation flipped because she changed internally. So her story really shines a light on a fundamental choice that every single one of us has. We don't have to wait for disaster to strike. We can proactively choose a much better path. You can learn through pain. That's where you just wait for those Vinash forces to show up and force you to change. Or you can learn through wisdom. That means you proactively identify your false egos, and you consciously choose to let them go before the pain signal even becomes necessary. And here's the best part. When you're in your true posture, you don't just avoid pain. You actively start to invite what the source calls forces of honor. Remember, nature is your friend. It wants to support you. It wants to bring wealth and health and harmony into your life, as long as you're in alignment. So, it all just boils down to this one single powerful question. Look, everybody learns these lessons eventually. The universe makes sure of it. The only choice we really have is how we're going to learn. Is it going to be through painful signals, or is it going to be through proactive wisdom? And so that leaves us with one final thought to really reflect on. Take a look at the challenges in your own life right now. What are the pain signals that you're receiving? And what wrong posture, what false identity might they be asking you to finally correct?
Thank you. So, a little bit of a review. One question that came at the end of yesterday, and it would be interesting to hear your thoughts, was what about when innocent people receive injustice? Maybe they're sent to jail, for example. So how does it work? Yeah, are they victims of external circumstances? So that was a question left at the end of yesterday. So your thoughts, and also now handing to Prashant, and perhaps he'll take that up. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, and welcome back. And let me address this question first. We said one thing yesterday, and that is not enough to be good, not enough to be innocent and kind and loving. It is all, very welcome. But what was the emphasis we underlined? Not enough to be good. What was the second part? What is required? What nature wants us, what nature expects from us.
Good, better, best. Okay, maybe you need a few moments to reply in the chat. Yeah, you have to be also right. Wisdom.
That's right. You have to be right. So, the question for everyone, innocent people and not innocent people. Are you in the right posture? That is what it is beautifully summarized. Is there a false identity? And at present, the whole world, they don't even know what the true identity is. So they are in one or the other identities. And the message is, first let me get back in the right posture, and then let us see if any pain still remains. If I stay in the wrong posture and saying that, oh, fix the pain, don't want to change the posture, then it is difficult when you want to fix. Let us come to our right posture, experience of the right posture. And for this right posture, the best posture, we need the best intellect. And everyone has got it. We just need to use it. And with this best intellect, the invisible witness wakes up. It is not Prashant. Prashant it is happening everywhere. Everyone is at that level. But Prashant is awake, but not the invisible witness. This extra effort is the invisible witness. And for him, this whole thing of the physical world is part of the story. What is happening, everything is happening in that story. Invisible witness is more aware of his world beyond. Alokik world. And his world is eternal world. In this world is the true family. They are all like tiny, tiny living stars. World is eternal. These living stars, they are immortal. They are beyond the story world. That is a huge thing, to be beyond. Means they are free from ego, free from vices, free from sorrows. What remains is life of joy and life of contentment and life of love. Everyone in this world, they are like this. Egoless. We are not talking less ego, zero ego. This whole Ravan's mess is not there. Ravan-free region. No complications. If there is no Ravan, there are no complications. The perfection, world of love, world of truth, invisible witness. His life is one of a celestial celebration. He is fully aware of the story far, far away, but that is not his story. That is a different world. Thank you. Excellent. Anything you wanted to say or add?
Useful to have a reset. It's a context, isn't it, of what we're doing. It's like you have to keep the weeds down and the subtlety of the ego. So these resets help strengthen the intellect to grasp the clean view. Yeah, there's no other comments right now.
This is a reference for all of us. How much you are getting drawn into that box. There is a downward spiral pulling you, and there's this wisdom that we spoke of, learning through wisdom. Learning through wisdom helps us to understand that there is no need to claim anything there, own anything there. It is huge confusion. And the invisible witness becomes conscious. To understand this, understand the huge shift from ordinary consciousness. Ordinarily me, that me itself is in this camp the story camp. And that creates added confusion. It appears as if you are making effort. Here, the effort is the true self has to become conscious and discover his true family.
Your question.
Mm-hmm.
Question is, do you live in two awarenesses at the same time?
You have the knowledge. You know the knowledge of the drama, just as if you are acting in a drama or even watching the drama. You are watching the drama. It is a completely different reality there. Someone comes, prince comes, king comes, enemy comes, there is war. You are watching all this, but you live in your world, aware of the story, but you live in your world. Something similar here. You are not living in the theater. You don't think I am the prince there. You understand you are the witness of that drama. Same need to happen here. There is Prashant talking right now. That is happening in the theater. At the same time, the invisible witness is watching this theater. An invisible witness, he has got his world beyond. So we do this, just we are applying the same thing at another level. And the drama here is much bigger drama. That is the difference. And our world is invisible world. This is why we need paras. Because we have to deal with this big reality. That's why broad intellect is required. And we are dealing with the invisible. That's why we need the subtle intellect.
Do we start? It's like we use the model like a scaffolding. If we apply it, it works. But meanwhile, we have to build the intellect so it really feels like a secondary reality. Until then, we're using it a bit like a structure, framework.
Yeah.
And thank you for the question. And another one, she's saying, I have a question from yesterday's class. Do we also have karmic accounts with other souls apart from Vinash forces? Like specifically with other souls?
That is not absolute. The Vinash forces that are within me, that is absolute. And nature wants to put it right. I need to get in the right posture. That's all. So you can create some karmic account. You can, steal something from someone and run away. And you go to another place, another country. The account will come back to you. Whatever is done, it will come back. But it doesn't need to be from that same person. It is not that the same person will steal things from you. No, he may be in his world. You are in another world. There may be some personal settlement happen, but it is not absolute. There are some patterns of that level. But before we go back home, we have to be free from wrong posture. And so nature has a absolute, law to remove the false posture within us by kind or by cash. So it may be, with knowledge or with pain. Nature wants to remove anything that is false.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, no other questions right now.
We are going to come to the subject of today, and this subject is subject of, we are trying to understand who is Ram. We have been talking so much about Sita and Ram is helping, Ram is almighty, and his friend of Sita wants to. So definitely we need to know more about this Ram, and the most commonly used word for Ram in our world is God. Commonly used word, most commonly used word, and most commonly misunderstood word. In fact, it is completely debased, so much so that many people don't want to hear the word God. In some of the bookstores, if there is a word God in the books, people don't want to go there. The God, everything God. So that such is the society all over. Actually, Cambridge is the capital of that thinking, but it can be everywhere. Because the word God is the friend. Here we are saying he's a friend of you, but such is the situation of the present time. Now, also, one thing I would like to say, even those who are praising God and talking about God, you will get different ideas who God is. Sometimes one time, it is like a real example. Someone talking about God, and she had tears in the eyes as she was talking about God. And I said, wow, she sort of loves God. And I asked her, who is God? And she thought for a while, and she said, I don't know. At least she was honest, but there are many who will immediately start talking about who God is. And if you ask 10 people, you will get 10 different ideas what they mean by God. And after 2 months, their idea may change and become something else. People write books on God. They are sort of so happy to start. They have just, got some idea and they write books. There are so many books. In 1 year, I was told, 16,000 new books are published on God. So there are lots going on there. And now we are also discussing God. What is the word we are using? We said little bit of rationality here. So if we are to use one word that 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 can be safely associated with God, it has to be the truth. If he is not in truth, then how can the word God be used? We all know that word God means something highest and good and positive, but it is also truth. Truth is a very good word that we can associate with God. In some cultures, God is called the truth. Now, if it is truth, then we come in this sketch here. That truth is what is eternal. Something just disappears. We cannot call that truth. Something comes, disappears. What is your true address? Address where you are going to be there, at least, for a time. You are just passing by, some few hours. That's not your address. Where you are based in a stable place. But here, ultimate truth, you will have to be eternal, in that eternity, not 1,000 years, not million years, eternally. That is the ultimate truth. So, he will be the one who knows that dimension, lives in that dimension. In other words, he remains soul conscious. In some cultures, God is called Parasnath, and it is a good way to describe God, I would say. One who is always Paras. Parasnath is like a Lord Paras. There are temples to Parasnath. And so one who is always Paras, he will be God. We also said, when we were talking about the story of Sita and Ram, what's the difference between Sita and Ram? Do you remember? We said Sita is like Ram, but still there is a difference. What's the difference between Ram and Sita?
And they had a different shape when you were drawing them. Ram doesn't get trapped in Ravan's world.
Sure.
Sita can be captured, whereas Ram can't.
Sure. The most important, Ram doesn't cross the line, leave aside getting captured and all. He doesn't cross the line. Whereas Sita is amazing. Sita is like Ram, as we are saying, but Sita crosses the line at some point. So here we are saying that all human souls, they are like Sitas. They got their own price. Sooner or later, for one reason or another, they cross the line, and then they are in the downward spiral. Whereas Ram is the one who never crosses the line. So he's in truth. He's always in truth. So he has wisdom, but the test of wisdom is this. Even any bird or any animal, any creature who is not deceived, that creature is wise, sensible. One who can be deceived, that animal is not wise. And if you are deceived, what happens? They suffer. They can be trapped. They can be made to put a bait, and they are deceived. So here, Ram never crosses the line. Means he is the wisest. The one who crossed the line and doesn't even know how to get behind the line, he is not wise. Now that then it rest all follows. If someone is always in truth, truth is immensely beautiful. We have been talking about this extraordinary truth. It is eternal. That dimension is eternal. It is a world of absolute security. It's a world where there are no needs. You exist without needing anything. Certainly, you don't need the story. You don't need anything from the story for your existence. You know you are beyond harm. Nothing in the three worlds can harm you. Now, these are very deep things, for human beings. Why deep things? Because human life, if you see lives of all these billions of human beings, they are revolving around these two things. They want to protect themselves from harm. That's why they want to build castles and they want to keep missiles, and it's because they want to protect themselves from harm. And they have needs, all kinds of needs. Just 1 second, there is a need here with the technology.
Always limitations with technology. Things need charging and
Yes. So, it is human beings have got this constant need, and it is eternal need. And as they complicate their lives, the needs keep increasing. Like you keep this and you keep it, whatever, more. If you got a dog and you've got a horse and you've got a car and then your needs are increasing. You have to maintain all those things. So that is like and life is caught into this, and it can lead to sorrows, it can lead to angers, it can lead to disappointments. Complicated human personalities are because of these needs, and they can be harmed. Here, the Supreme Being, he knows his soul. We are talking about, ultimately, everyone is this invisible traveler. He is the one who stays in that truth forever. And so he knows he exists forever. No needs, and he is beyond harm, secure at a deep level, and forever, always. As a result, that personality, non-human personality, divine personality, that becomes natural. In that personality, there is bliss. In this personality, there is love. Everyone. What also happens, we know others to the level I know myself. Those who are always into greed, they think everyone else is greedy, this kind of thing. Those who are robbers, they are thinking others are trying to rob them, or they think in that distorted way, in a perverted way about others. We project things. More you know your own greatness, you realize that everyone else is like this. You know how great everyone else is. Now he knows everyone has crossed a line. He knows that also, but he knows their innate greatness, which they themselves don't know. The others have gone so far they are completely disconnected from their own truth, whereas supreme being, he knows their greatness. He knows everyone is worthy of love. Everyone is worthy of great respect. That becomes his life. When there are no needs, we are talking about contentment. When you are so secure, you can afford to be 100% innocent. If nothing can harm you, even the slightest, if you know this, it's a personality where there is full lightness. And we already spoke about wisdom. All of that is because of wisdom, he is able to experience all this. And all these things, they bring their friends. If you are in this truth, you are in this highly positive space, positive experience. This applies to everyone. He is the one who is always in that space. He is the one who is in that space fully, 100%. So if it is Paras, he is 100% Paras. Wisdom, it is 100% wisdom. So everything that is experienced, it becomes 100%. He loves everyone is lovely. He loves everyone. Why there are borders and why there are limitations? He is without limits. And always. So he stays in this space always, forever. Just like you others stay in the human personality always, naturally. And they don't feel tired with it, even though it is pain, to stay in that space. Still they wake up with this, they spend the whole day, sleep with it, dream with it. That is the human personality. That appears to be totally natural. For him, this personality is natural. In this personality, no concept of what sad, bad, mad is. That other personality is based on sad, bad, and mad. Human personality is that. So, in other words, this personality, he doesn't know what sorrow is. One can say this is like Ravan is the embodiment of that other side. Embodiment means stubbornly, he says that story is the world, don't question it. Nothing else exists. No, we the body is me. This role is me. Don't question about soul. Don't question about Ram. That is his position, Ravan. Embodiment of greed and all that comes with it. Once you are stubbornly in that position, everything else follows. Until the last moment, you are trying to remove Ravan, but until the last moment, even a trace of Ravan, he will still be seeing that story is everything until the last moment. That is what the Ravan is embodiment of Patthar. Ram is on the other side. It is like the embodiment of what is Paras, embodiment of truth. And forever, he can only see it that way. And as a result, he remains embodiment of bliss and wisdom and kindness, all the positive things you are seeing. He is embodiment of it, naturally. Okay, so here is God. Now here is Ram. We understand this personality. Now the big question is, okay, it is nice. He's so wonderful. But why do I need him? Do I need him? What is it to do with me? So someone tells me some king somewhere or some celebrity is so wonderful, there is some sage somewhere, is so wonderful, so kind, and he can do so many things. He loves the world and he's so happy. That is nice, okay. But do I need to know him? Do I need to meet him? Or what is it to do with me? My life is going on. So this Ram, do I need him? Do you want to answer? Why do I need to? Why are you telling me about all this, Ram? It's so nice. Okay, agreed. Why are you telling me?
We have to be ready with these answers. So it's good to have these questions.
Yeah.
So one answer could be our compass is broken. So he's the one who helps us come back to true north. So much sorrow in the world. So he's needed at this time. Strong roots. I'm not sure if you want to expand on the strong roots, but he can provide, perhaps, to aspire, help us to aspire to a similar mindset so it can help us. He's like a mirror to help Sita get back to the real version, to who she really is. To help and guide us to get back behind the line.
Yeah, excellent. That is good. So one thing we said is Sita is in the Ravan's camp. She's the slave to Ravan in a big trap. Doesn't even know that she's in a trap even. And we said during that discussion, Sita gets a message. If she takes the decision, if she wants to be free, Ram is the one willing to help. And we also understand Ram is the only one who is capable of helping, because he is out of the problem. He's the only one who is on the right side of line when everyone else have crossed the line, including sages, saints, all the prophets. What we say, they don't even know they have crossed the line. They are playing the part of someone playing part of the priest, and someone is playing part, but they all have crossed the line. So God is the only one who remains on the right side of the line. He's in a position to help. That is one thing. But next step for us, he can help us if we stay in his company. Company has a huge effect. That company is a big word it should be an important word for everyone. If we want to come out of this Ravan's, each one has the decision, choice. Either continue with that Ravan personality, we said, that the so-called human personality is a Ravan-based personality, dealing with sad, bad, mad. That is, even trace of it. Why should we hold on to that Ravan personality? So if we have taken a decision to be free from it, and we want to have that angelic personality within us, we want to come out of that deception and come in the truth, then we need him, we need God. But he is not going to do the magic just from there. If it was the case, he would have done it by now. But one guaranteed factor that makes a difference is company. Company affects. Every mother will be curious to know who is the company of her children. She goes to school, but who is accompanying? Who these children are associated with? Because teachers may not influence that much as the company. Some good schools in different countries, teachers are all good, but students, company, you get a good company in some schools. That's why they are good schools. So here you have the option of having God's company. Now, company, okay. Imagine someone is sitting next to you, but you are thinking of someone who is in another town. You're thinking of him. You are constantly trying to understand what the other person is doing, saying, and thinking. Then whose company are you in? You are in the company of the other person. They are not one who is sitting next to you. We use the word yoga for this. Yoga, your intellect is connected over there. You are thinking of the other person, company, but company through the mind. Now, within this subject of company, it is not a physical, you are thinking of some person's appearance and body, or keep his photograph. All of that is also company, but the highest, if we want the biggest benefit, we need to know the personality. Like if you read some speech of someone, they're nice, but you also try to understand the personality of the person who is speaking that you try to get the heart, not the feelings that is going on. So here, the personality, here we need to know. Say someone says, I want to know what he knows, what God knows. I want to know what God knows. I want to see what he sees. In any situation, what is he saying? Is he just saying the gross story? Is he saying something beyond? I want to feel what he feels. I want to think what he thinks. Then you are getting the heart of the matter. You are understanding the personality. You are tuning in. Sometimes some person comes, visits. One person just takes photograph of his, and another person understands something subtle, some virtues, and that greatness, grasps that, and so also here we need to grasp what he knows, what he sees, what he feels, what he thinks. More you are doing that, it happens, that experience happens within you. He has amazing personality. It is like we said in Paras, he is naturally Paras, and he sees in a completely different way. Paras and Pattar is like a totally opposite, 180 degrees turn around. Pattar, he lives in the story. He lives in the Cinderella. Paras, he 100% out of Cinderella world. Yes. So, you are grasping how detached he is, how free he is, what he knows. He knows his that sky and immortality. He lives in that understanding, 100% carefree and viceless. You are grasping that personality. So you know what he knows, you see what he sees, you feel what he feels. And at different times, different situations also try and grasp this and what he thinks. Try to see the subtlety. And every minute you are doing this, you are bringing about transformation within yourselves. 。 we saw this image. And in this image, there are many, many false identities. And within that, we also said there is soul consciousness. And every second, you are so truly soul conscious. That invisible witness, watching the story with full separation, independence, quality attention, then you are growing. When you are seeing the Supreme Personality, and you are taking the company of the Supreme Friend, then you are also progressing. That time the same thing is happening. Because that experience happens within you. You are just seeing some star, point of light. It is a start, at least instead of thinking about someone else, you are thinking about God. That may be better, but not enough just to see some gross level. You need to see his soul consciousness, soul conscious experience. That is what will help the transformation within you. Let us hear some thoughts from you.
In a subtle way, we are coming out of the habits of devotional practices, aren't we? I mean, I appreciate the introduction because there can be a resistance in some of us because of the debased association with the word. But when we understand the context, you mentioned personality, and that also context of Ram in the story of Ram and Sita, he has a very clear position and also a role for Sita. When we understand the subtlety and the spirituality, he doesn't want Sita to worship him, but he's got an upliftment agenda, a benevolent one. So yes, not to stay with the adoration or the tendencies from devotion, which I think can creep in different ways. And interestingly, even if you haven't had an experience in this life. So there's a question here, a couple of questions. If you have to do something very challenging, maybe like you might have to go to court, for example, what tips do you have to experience the company of God?
Sure. This is not, we are not doing this so that you will have some benefit immediately in the story. That is the difference between, in the tradition, religions, they will say God, God, so that there will be you will get some favors in the court case or in the exam or some health illness. Then they say God, God. I don't know if you are meaning that way, and I think you are not meaning that way, but still to know that is the way. The word God is very popular. He will do favors on me, if I promise him, something. But here we are using this whole understanding for the purpose of soul upliftment. We said Sita is in trouble. Sita has to come out of this trap, and she needs Ram, and she's using the knowledge and company of Ram to become free from Ravan. It is at a very subtle level. She doesn't mind what the story is. Story is story. It has got a script, and it is a different. It will unfold, as we go further. She is not trapped in that at that level.
Yeah, it's a bit like dealing with what is behind the scenes in the mind and our very attitude towards the physical world, such that the answer is happening at the level of fixing the thinking, isn't it? We perceive that we're in bondage, but that is exactly what Ravan wants. And then within that, Ravan has created a framework of Ram, as if within the structure of Ravan, we have a concept of Ram. So that is something to come out of. So I like this, not a beggar or a victim of circumstance. So we have to, as if, come to a new feeling of the self completely. Is seeing the self as Ram sees, as God sees, is quite a project. So seeing as he sees, but seeing even the self as he sees. I somehow wouldn't mind if you could talk a bit more about the connection between Ravan and the stone intellect, or Pata, the gross intellect, and Ram and the Paras. Are they, synonymous? So
Yeah,
if Ravan,
yeah, very, very, very happy. So here, when we use the word Ravan is 100% Pattar. He cannot see beyond that story. That story is his world, full stop. But his embodiment of Pattar, which means he will not like to hear anything else exist around. This is all that matters. So, because it is a stubborn position, everything else becomes very, very entrenched. His ego is then caught in, based on the story, his disappointment, the angers, everything is absolute, because that is his position. And that remains his position, however much sorrow he gets, whatever, until the last moment, that position remains. He shrinks, he becomes smaller, but he will not compromise. That is, he remains Patthar forever. Ravan means that. And what is Ram position? That is all, just different intellect. One becomes God, other becomes demon, And this is the story of all human beings. So God sees the bigger map. And for him, it is so obvious. This is just a story. And it is not even, and my story or someone, it is a story. There is a story. It is not someone's story. Others are actors in that story. And he remains fully engaged in the real world as a result. That is what is relevant. And he knows of the real family and real home, real treasures. And that is eternal, and the whole game is different. Everyone is safe, and one leads to the next. So it becomes a cascade of different reactions as a result, until it becomes a life of celestial celebration. It is silent celebration, but that is in a positive reality at that level, supreme reality. In the other direction, cascade of reactions, because everyone is insecure. Ravan is insecure. The whole world is unpredictable and temporary. So Ravan is forever leading a life of failure. Because everything is going to disappear. So he knows of this. And he is fighting this failure, fighting this end. And that is the life of Ravan. Now, I just want to add one more aspect in connection with the subject. Here we are trying to know the Supreme Personality. Who can ever know a great mathematician? See, there is a great mathematician in your town. Who will recognize the great mathematician? There is a merchant there. There is someone who is selling, shoes, and someone is a carpenter. They all know him. They think he is a nice person. But who will recognize the great mathematician? It has to be another mathematician. Who will recognize a great musician? Another musician. One time, we were walking, and one friend of ours was walking with me. And she said, we'll stop because someone was playing music on the street. She said, let us stop and listen. And then she said, he's extraordinary, great musician. Now she herself is a music teacher. For me, he was just a street musician, playing some music on the street. And she said, no, he's extraordinary, what he's doing. Because her comment comes because she is herself a music teacher. And the same here. Who will know a great musician? You have to be a musician. So who will recognize the Supreme Personality? God is right in front of you, and he may be in front of many. Who will recognize? Ravan cannot recognize Ram. That is one situation. So to recognize Ram, to recognize God, you have to be soul conscious to some level. That is a sign I use for soul consciousness. So you have to be some level soul conscious, some percentage. You need to have some experience of soul consciousness. If you have not touched it, you can't grasp the subtlety of that Supreme Personality. We said at the beginning, you know others to the level you know yourselves. You project all the time. You project. You think we said robbers. They think others are also potentially. They immediately pick up. Someone has got something. They will be quick to know who is the robber in the place. So here, the more you become soul conscious, you understand greatness of others. You need to see that greatness in yourselves. And that creates naturally, without any effort, natural respect for others, regardless of what is happening in the drama. There may be criminal behavior, but you also know their innate personality, and there is respect. Now that is required, and so one who has discovered to some extent that divine personality within him, he is the one who understands what it is like to be 100% in this. He can recognize Parasnath, one who is authority in that experience. And that becomes a nice combination. We were talking here, our aim is bringing about a transformation. We want to achieve this 100% transformation. And in this transformation, this becomes a nice combination. Come to your invisible witness, that awareness. Come to the soul awareness and keep the company of the Supreme Friend and refine both. Everything needs refinement, but we start the process, and more you do this, that is a big success. You will continue to win. Transformation will happen. The false identities will continue to become weaker. Yeah, excellent.
So in this couple of questions, it was interesting example of the mathematician. Someone is asking, we might recognize them by their title. You know, we might be introduced to them by their role or title, but that maybe is less of a felt recognition. It's just more of a statement. So I think there's a question around this.
Yeah, we know them based on the title, but the mathematician, recognizes in a different level. Because he has tried to solve certain situations, certain astronomical problems, and he knows how others are trying to solve it. But a great mathematician, he has simple answers to it, and he understands this. Wow, it made everyone's life easy. This kind of thing.
So it's more like an alive thing where you yourself have been grappling with it and someone has found the answer. So you more from the heart. How do you define greatness?
Here, we are talking about a personality where you, under all situations, all provocations, you are experiencing your happiness, you are experiencing respect for others, you are experiencing love, you are experiencing contentment. You stay with the bigger picture, bigger map. You don't go into pettiness, and certainly you are free from sad. You are free from sad, bad, and mad. Even less of it. Then you are in the direction of greatness. Less Ravan, you are in the direction of greatness. Ravan is a good factor. As Ravan gets bigger, it is the person himself says it is like a degradation coming here. If the Ravan is removed and we are becoming free from Ravan, then you will be called Mahatma. Mahan is great. Great Atma.
I had a question. We have this expression, spot it. If you spot it, you've got it. But it's not as straightforward as that, it seems, because if you have, one thing is if you have experienced it, then you will see it in others. But on the other hand, we can be projecting whatever it is onto others. So how do we know when we are really seeing it in others or we're projecting? If the question is clear.
yeah, whatever, it may not be that relevant either way, because what is really relevant is our own personal progress, and rest all can be speculation. Either way, it can be speculation. But what is really important is their innate personality. They all are holy, and that's all that matters. You are seeing their holiness, and you have respect for their holiness. It may be not there in front of me right today, but I know their eternal truth. Rest all is academic. And that's why I said it doesn't matter.
In a drama, it doesn't matter the details of the plot. The main thing is actors, you know, who the actor is behind. So that's why God is helping us to come out of this, in a way, web of Ravan, who's made a big meal out of the secondary world. So yeah, there are questions, but maybe we take them later. The ones we have here are more connected to the subject of yesterday, so maybe we take them after.
You can ask one question.
Okay. Is there sorrow that is in line with nature, such as grief?
Oh, is any sorrow justified? Answer is no. Sorrow is only there if there is a wrong posture. Like for example, someone is in your room and he goes to the next room. Will that be grief? He goes to the next room, then he goes to some other room, maybe goes to another town. Will that be grief? But some children may cry. They might say, "Oh, someone has gone," and then the other person comes back. They're happy because the intellect is not understanding things properly. When we are seeing the big map, we are realizing that truth is immensely beautiful. Immensely, not just beautiful, immensely beautiful. Everyone is immortal. Everyone is beyond harm. Everyone is noble. Everyone is divine. So good. Truth of everyone is good. And that is a story, beforehand. Story has got its different episodes and different things. It's a story. It is not my story. It is not anyone's story. It is a story. So parts will finish, but the real person it is not even his story. He is, the real person is immortal witness. And more we stay at that level, we are useful to others and useful to ourselves. More I stay at the story level, I might think I'm loving them and I'm sort of doing some favor, but no, I'm not useful to others, because that sentimentality, it is actually holding me into, wrong posture and pulling others in the wrong posture. Even those who have departed, those souls will take more benefit if I don't stay in that wrong posture.
Maybe something to reflect on, isn't it? Because it is a radically different, which it needs to be, but it's a different way of understanding. But when you see the bigger picture, yeah, we never actually really lose anyone, although they may leave the room. So, yeah, hope it helps. Any follow-up questions, feel free. So, shall we take the break now?
Yeah, nice. And looking forward to hearing the thoughts from Australia after this.
Yes, yes. So we'll be joined by a great connection in Australia. So we'll be going down under. And before we take the break for rooms, maybe to reflect on this question for a few moments before we open up. Who is God? And how can you take benefit from his presence and or existence? So just maybe creating a few moments to think on that before we go into rooms. Thank you. Welcome back. So beautiful to hear some of the sharings in the rooms, and yeah, so such a great subject, and let's go to a few moments for this experience of the Ram and Sita, All and Supreme. Thank you. We tried to put images to things which are invisible, but still, it's an attempt. And yeah, fascinating subject. And happy to be welcoming in Tamsin, who I should say Dr. Tamsin now. And just to give a little bit of her background, because that can help us understand also our, what we're sharing. She's an anthropologist and practicing with Brahma Kumaris for some time. And she's in many areas very interested in animal justice, environmental advocacy, and she lives in a conservation farm in Australia. So meditation must be easier there, hopefully, and also caring for nature. But yeah, there are many aspects that Samson has experience in. It'd be great to hear your thoughts on the subject today. So yeah, good evening.
Good evening, Sarah. Good evening, Prashant. Good evening to everybody here. Yeah, what a wonderful, thoughtful session it's been, talking about Ram and the question how we take benefit from this being, this creator spirit. I try and sometimes find new ways to talk about that one, because of course, in the story of the drama, we like to give everything a label and everything, name it, pin it down, identify it, move it around. It's kind of what we do. We move things around a lot, the physical objects, internal states, trying to find out who we are. And I remember hearing a podcast about Ravan once. It was so interesting to hear Prashant, you talk about Rama and Ravan, and that Ravan is the stone intellect, and it doesn't move from being stone. And just like Ram wants to make us like Ram is, Ravan wants to make us like Ravan is. So Ravan is very charming. He's got a glint in his eye, and Ravan does have a gender because he's in the story, and he'll try and make us believe the story that you're that personality, you're that age, you've got this culture, this history, this job, this is who you are, and that's why your life's a mess. And there'll always be another story. And I think about, like, Ravan is the world of proliferation. Ram is simplicity. Ram just says, Om. Om Shanti. As Ravan gives us the whole story, will tell us, well, so it's so interesting to think about how when the invitation from the world, which is Ravan's world, is that, you know, this can help you, that can help you, this can help you, that can help you. Oh, what about that? What about this? Look over here, look at me. And just in the discussion and those beautiful questions, gosh, some of you asked beautiful questions. I wrote them down also for me to contemplate. And I think about my own spiritual life, which has been since I was in the body in my teens. Now, next year, becoming in the body 60 years. And the one call, the ultimate call, the thing that works time and time again is to step in, to be still, Om Shanti. And when I think and feel Om Shanti, there's a resonance. There's a resonance that happens that without silence power, it is a power, and it wakes us up to who we truly are. And I feel that resonance is an invitation for Ram, an invitation for the Supreme, that one can't resist. And that's when I feel that alliance, like you're saying, Sarah, Prashant too, it's in relationship, it's in reciprocity that we're transformed. The soul doesn't do anything on its own. We're in reciprocal relationship in the drama. And it's in relationship that we become free from the story. And it's in relationship that we get cleansed and our compass, you know, I was thinking of that. Ram is like our compass pointer. So it's such a beautiful topic. And I love the way, the thoughtful way and the meandering way that you all share this space together. And what a lovely retreat. Anyway, so they're my thoughts about this beautiful session. Thank you. Om Shanti.
It's a wonder of technology that we can meet, but not only that, actually experience the feelings. So,
Yeah,
you know, it's amazing.
it's wonderful.
My experience was when I stopped and I just started a meditation practice. I do feel, just like you said, that's when Ram can come, when we just just create that little space for another input. Yeah.
And sometimes I feel we can even draw Baba's attention, draw Ram's attention, and we, you know, it can feel like that sometimes.
Someone asked a question here at the center. How do you do yoga? You know, and the sister said, "God remembers me." It was very
Oh,
sweet.
I mean, sometimes we think, you know, am I doing it right? I mean, I thought that for a long time, and then I stopped trying to do it right and just thought, well, let me just do it. Because I don't think there's not one way. Every soul, its own journey through time, its own current story we're living in. We're in the individual puppets, individual plot lines. There's no one way. But I love that, you know, God remembers me. That's yoga. But yes, whoever we are, however we are, just to begin where we are is the great way to be a yogi.
Beautiful, thank you. It's a great thing, I think, when we meet, because there's not one way it looks. And I think that I benefited from that. You know, you're in one particular place, but you go to another center or city and you think, wow, you know, it is not anything about the apparent, very much. Yeah, so thank
Oh,
you.
I like the word appearance. That's a very good word. It's a new word, but it's a very good one. Appearance. How things apparently need to be.
Yeah, we like to make up new words sometimes.
That's very
I don't know if you'll hopefully be with us in case any questions and comments come your way. So thank you, and welcoming back to Prashant. Prashant comes with whiteboard.
I thought this is what Prashant really looks like. Is it not?
Yes, yes.
Plain piece of
Blank,
paper.
completely blank. Or maybe a point somewhere. Very nice to hear, Tamsin. Nice to see you. And I was thinking, we can go to Haiti and Melody can say hello to us, and then we meet her properly in the next sessions. If Melody is able to say hello.
Might need a few moments. Oh, she's here. Or let me let you unmute. Second. Yeah. So we're going to Melody, I think, morning time. Hello.
Hello. Yes, it's morning here, early morning. Shanti. Well, I want to say thank you. Thank you. I had a wonderful time with you. And today's subject was even, I mean, the cherry on top. It was great to have a deep reflection on my relationship with God, with the light, like I described it, and in the breakout room. And also, I want to say thank you for sharing all the way from Australia. And it was, it was a wonderful time. Thank you.
Nice.
I think we had a, oh no, I was just wondering if I should share for the relationship with God and all of that, or just say hi, because I know we have some time to consider. So yeah, I'll just say thank you and Om Shanti.
Thank you so much. Much appreciated, and so happy to connect. We look forward to hearing more if it works out in their follow-up.
Yes. let us create a few minutes of experience. And as was said, to know the mathematician, we need to be mathematicians also. So here, we first take that step where the invisible witness is conscious. And he understands his complete separation from the story world. And Prashant is in that story world. Invisible witness, he knows everyone is lucky. He is lucky. Because they all are immortal. They all are sorrowless, egoless, viceless, Ravan free. The region is Ravan free region. So what remains is a life of silent contentment, silent joy. All are from this world, all are holy. That's why the word divine and noble. This is the world of God and world with God. The invisible witness, he is aware that everyone is worthy to be loved by God, worthy to belong to God, worthy to have company of God, all and always. It is an eternal bond, eternal relationship. As we continue on our journey, we remain awake to the immensely beautiful truth of everyone. I'm happy to hear any comments from others also, any questions. But one area connected with this personality and what is used in many traditions, the one word that is used, and that word is zero. And in Sanskrit, the word Shumb is zero, and name for God is Shambho. In some traditions, word Shiva is zero, and Shiva is zero, and Shiva also is word for God. So zero is associated with God, and quite accurately. When it comes to our world, and we are talking about the story world, when everyone in this world wants to have more and more and more here, and they want to see themselves as big, and they see themselves as they identify with everything. Here is the one who sees himself as zero in connection with all of this. So he says he owns nothing to start with. He owns nothing. The word nothing is important. He knows he needs nothing from there. We check this for ourselves. The invisible witness, does he need anything from a story? Temporary story? Bottom line is he doesn't need anything. For the invisible witness, everything is extra, including the body. Body needs something, but he doesn't need the body in the first place. He lacks nothing. He loses nothing. He identifies with nothing. Has zero entitlements. He doesn't, I deserve this, I deserve that. In connection with the story, it is a story. It has got a script, and anything is possible in the story. In a fully accepting that world there, and remains 100% free. And as a result, what happens when you remain 100% free? He experiences the ocean. He is able to go beyond. When there are no strings of the story world, and that is what allows anyone to fly. He is able to go beyond. That was said right at the beginning. We are seeing that personality not with the aim to get some advantage in the story. That is not reason. We are seeing this personality so that we can become like him. And more we are seeing this, we are realizing that is what applies to us. That is what the life of the invisible witness is. He is flying past this story world. His world is different. He doesn't create any level of bondage in that story world. Doesn't take anything personally. Many things happen there. That is down below. He remains beyond. For the supreme friend, that is natural. We are seeing what he is experiencing, what he knows, what he feels, what he sees. That's what we are trying to say. Stay in the essence. And more we stay in that essence, that is what nourishes our journey, our progress. Yeah, excellent. Let us hear some thoughts from you.
Yeah, thank you. It feels like a foundation or a base that we have to know to work from, even in maths and spiritually. So it's very interesting. This question is probably trying to grapple with this paradox. It came at the beginning today. You mentioned, I think, about being a witness. So you are just witnessing everything, but you must have to plan as well, like, what to share. You can't just witness the planning because it's the thoughts and we create thoughts. So I don't know if you can grasp the question.
Yeah. Any actor, he's acting in a drama. Say someone is acting as a king in the drama, but the actor is also always part of the audience. He's watching the whole plot. He's seeing the others acting their part, their character. He enjoys the whole plot. There is, at the same time, the actions going on. Same here also. We are just emphasizing different aspects of this. We used that list. In the list we used the word, you are a trustee also, and you are a traveler also, you are an actor, and you are also the witness, and also the observer. It is all together. It is not just one. He is also the guest.
Hope that helps. I think it's very easy to grasp the actor is also the observer, and we may ourselves have done acting, but we can certainly grasp. So now just one more question here.
Just want to underline here, the most important thing for us is to come out of that sticky web we are caught in. These different words are to help us come out. We are acting there, we are involved with many things. Like, for example, you are involved with some maybe very important, precious things, family. All these are involved. Each one of us got some situation. And whilst being in that situation, how can you become 100% soul conscious? That's why these different words, to play with these different words, that helps you to disengage. Yeah.
Yeah, it's also added the trustee looks after others as well as children. It's just a comment. So there's, yeah. It can be challenging when some souls are purposefully trying to cause other souls difficulties, or the role might be creating a difficulty for you or another role. That it was just a comment, something shared earlier.
Yeah. If there is a Cinderella drama and there was no ugly sister, will you enjoy the drama? It may be very boring. It won't be very successful. Cinderella will have no part to play if there was no ugly sister in the drama. So here, this drama needs all the characters, and it is all entertaining. We need to do our job. And our job is to be that witness, be conscious to that reality, and if we approach the drama from the ego, then it's a grind. Everything is a problem, not just the ugly sister. Even whatever is happening, life is a burden for the ego. But you come in the space of the witness, and then you find it is a great performance. As it comes, the whole thing.
This is what the relationship with Ram will connect us to, isn't it? It's not just you and him, but it's or a he, she. It's that reality where you know all are safe and all are good, isn't it? That his yoga is there. Yeah. There's no other questions, and I know we've come to time. If there's anything you want to add, or homework, or final thoughts.
The homework for us is to create time where you are seeing those 4 areas, what he knows, what he feels, what he sees. Create time and experience these 4 areas. What is it where there is the 100% paras, 100% perfection? How do we see things? To experiment with it.
And nice because the word yoga is used, but it's really this is the yoga, isn't it? It's like a practical thing. So we just put something in the chat for next week to let you know. Now we will be having 2 sessions as a follow-up. In case you're interested and would like to join, you can save the date, Wednesday 8th, Thursday 9th.
Now, I just want to also say,
Yeah.
Even though we have used the word God today, it may be better for us to use a separate word, because we all have some notion of God in the past, and we might think it's same God. It's just we might add some little word to it. He's detached or something, and that might not help us actually. It is better for us to start clean, start new. Some of the things we spoke today, use these ideas. We are talking about a new personality, and that's why the word Ram may be a good one, but not to mix with our old idea of God and this one. So here is a new friend, supreme friend for us, and he is a friend of the soul. And there is a big benefit in starting clean, and because we are dealing with a new personality, and that clean perspective has more results, and experiences will be deeper. There is the Ram of the ego and the Ram of the Sita. Here we are talking about the Ram of the Sita.
Beautiful point. It's like openness, curiosity, clean start. Something completely fresh. Very precious. Thank you. Thanks to all. Thanks to Tamsin. And, good evening and good morning, wherever we all are. And we'll meet again tomorrow. Thank you so much.